excited to be playing Dishonored for you. It's one of my favorite stealth games of all time, if not one of my favorite games overall of all time. And I really didn't expect it to be honest with you. The only reason I picked it up back when it came out in 2012 is because I was a huge fan of Arcane Studios, the developers of this game. I was a huge fan of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, and it's also the only Might and Magic game that I enjoy. It's a very big departure from most of the series. It's just a first-person action game with really addictive combat, even though it's really short, only about like 5-6 hours-ish. But anyway, we're talking about Dishonored. This game came out in a time where I had a much more free schedule, and it unlocked on midnight. I can't remember the exact day, but when it unlocked on midnight, I figured, oh yeah, I'll hop on Dishonored to see how it starts a little bit, and then stop, and I ended up playing it for 6 entire hours straight from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. And that was when I realized, well, that's a problem. I should probably get some sleep, but also this is an incredible game. It just engrossed me instantly, and I was super impressed by that, because like I said, I wasn't expecting more than I knew it was a stealth game, but I wasn't really expecting much more than what I got out of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, but I did, and then some. So without further ado, I guess we'll just start with Dishonored, and we'll see how it goes. Another quick note, this is the first time I'll be playing a game that has done it where I'm using keyboard and mouse controls. I typically always tend to stay with controllers for games that I record, because I typically use a mechanical keyboard, which you can hear kind of far away, and the switches on it are very, very loud. But I wanted to play this game specifically, and a few other PC games, but this game first so badly that I ordered a cheap keyboard off Amazon. That, let's see if this doesn't mess anything up. Yeah, you'll know it's you can still hear it definitely, but the keys are much quieter. It's not a mechanical keyboard, and I'm not too bothered by that. For the sake of the playthrough, the only thing I'm kind of worried about, and this will probably start the game with, is spacebar. No, it didn't. Okay. As you can tell, the spacebar is quite a bit louder than the actual keys themselves, but we'll hopefully jumping won't be too big an issue. So let's go ahead and get our mouse here and start a new game in Dishonored. So I'm just going to do this how I usually do it. Typically I'll play on normal, but ever since I tried out Dishonored on very hard, it's always been my preferred method of playing. Not because I like the challenge, I just honestly feel like the increase of difficulty is not that severe for easy, normal, between normal, hard, and very hard. So I'm just going to do it on very hard, and I'm talking so much before we even start anything, but Dishonored has a interesting choice that you can make in it, and that you can clear the entire game being entirely pacifist, or being a pacifist, and you can complete the entire game without killing anybody, and we are going to do our best to do that. Now, the game can be unforgiving with how what it tracks as a death, and you can finish a level without even realizing that you did kill someone, but we're going to do our best. I've done it before, so I think I can do it again. Dunwall Tower, returning home. You have just returned from a journey of several months, visiting the other nations in the Empire to ask for aid in dealing with the rat plague. You must deliver their diplomatic response to the Empress whom you serve as Lord Protector.
Corvo, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else, and the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you. The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
start out at the Wrenhaven River.
That's it. Watch it. Cast off line. Casting off. We're away. Take us straight to Dunwall Tower. Lord Corvo has news for the Empress, and we've come a long way.
A long way to bring bad news. The sailors say there's a curse on us. Black magic.
Superstition. For all we know, there's a cure for the plague by now.
Maybe. We live in strange times. Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months. That's unusual.
Well, this was important. We need help with the rat plague.
I'm really happy that this game seems to be able to run in 60 FPS while I'm also recording. I was kind of worried my computer may not be able to handle that.
The Empress will be waiting for your news, Corvo.
Fair voyage, sir?
And after that very brief cinematic sequence, we have full control over our character. And that guy just told us that we should go see the Empress and that she's waiting, as if our character didn't already know that. But you'll see that we have a very wide range of motion for our character. If we run up against a railing, we can hit spacebar and do a sort of vault off of it. And you'll also see, let's see if I can. There's also a vaulting mechanic where if, oh sorry, he got mad at me. If we run up against a ledge and hit spacebar, we can just hop over it like that.
Fewer ships moving along the river now, with the plague and all.
And I think the first thing that struck me about this game was that it maintains a very unique visual art style, while also kind of not sacrificing fidelity very much. I guess it's sort of similar in a way to BioShock. I remember when this game came out, there were a lot of comparisons to that game. Let's not waste too much time here.
You know what to do next time?
Yes. The pressure was too low. All these new machines are touchy.
Just don't do anything crazy. Sokolov's changed everything again, and we don't know what the hydraulics can do now.
We've got him here today doing a portrait. If there's a time to try something, it's now.
So it would appear that someone named Sokolov is getting a portrait done. Maybe we'll run into them in Dunwall Tower.
Will you tell me about your trip, please? Were there any whales? Wait, let's play hide and seek first. I'll cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master.
We have the dialogue option of saying, okay, go on, or I'm sorry, Emily, but I have to go see your mother. Of course, this is sort of an option that's only here because she sort of serves as serves as a kind of tutorial for the stealth of the game, and so normally, if I was just replaying the game, I'd say, I'm sorry, Emily, but considering it's a playthrough, and also my heart doesn't want me to deny the hide-and-seek game, so we'll go with, okay, go on.
Okay, here we go. Run with me! Later, will you give me more climbing lessons? Someday I'm going to climb up to the rooftop.
That sun is very, very bright.
Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide.
stealth. Press C to enter stealth mode, then stay behind cover to break line of sight with enemies and avoid detection. While sneaking, your footsteps are muffled. So we're gonna hit C, and if we hit C while we're sprinting, we do a fantastic slide that's very, very fun. Now let's see if this expertly trained bodyguard to an empress of a nation is able to hide and outsmart a child. It's pretty tense. Oh, and if you hit, very helpful for sneaking, if you hit Q and E, you can lean and peek around corners without, I believe the enemy's line of sight still treats you as if you are positioned in the way that you are when you're not holding Q or E. So it's a very good tool. And also she just announced that we won, so let's go ahead and jump down there.
While you were gone, Mother seemed very sad. I think she missed you.
So we'll of course see if we can't find every single tiny detail to be found before we get up to Empress Jessamine.
Welcome home, Lord Protector. Stop moving, Campbell. And you, Corvo, welcome back. From wherever you've been. They sent him all around the Isles to beg for aid. A waste of time. My elixir will banish the plague from this city. Now keep still a moment, High Overseer Campbell.
I'm not so sure that painting looks like Campbell. Follow me, Corvo.
I don't know, that's kind of a rude thing to say when the artist is right there in front of you, literally painting the portrait, and I think it looks well enough like him. Let's see.
Corvo, please. I can't see him.
My bad. Oh, I ruined the painting. I forgot that I could do that. Anton Sokolov seems pretty, little bit, not so nice.
It was a fool's errand, Corvo. The plague comes from inside us. We must all strengthen our faith.
And he's one of those types, character archetypes that you find so often in stories of cities and places under the tense situation of illness and plague.
It's been good traveling with you, Corvo.
They're sick people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us, please.
As you wish, Your Majesty. Corvo. 2 days early. Full of surprises, as usual.
Let's check out what this guy's name is before we... Spy Master Burrows. And they're leaving us to talk in private.
It's a fair
Take me
wind
with
that
you on a
brings you
trip
home
one
to
day,
me.
please.
What news have you brought? I hoped that one of the other cities had dealt with this before, knew of some cure. This news is very bad. We're at the breaking point. Cowards. They're going to blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Are you okay, Mother? You seem sad.
Yes, don't worry, darling. Mother is fine. Wait, where are the guards? Who sent them away?
Mother, look! What are they doing on the rooftop?
What? Emily, come here!
And unfortunately, we've been thrust into a combat situation where we can press left click to attack with our right hand, or right click to attack with our left hand if we have a weapon or power equipped. Pressing and holding left control, we can block incoming sword attacks. Perfect timing will put the enemies off balance and open them up to a lethal counterattack.
Look out! Another one! Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here... No more! Not again! Mommy! No! Get away from her! Corvo!
Mommy! Get away!
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one who'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
Ward us all. Look at what he's done.
Yes, he's killed the Empress. What did you do with young Lady Emily, traitor?
Her own bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
And that was, in fact, the dishonoring that the title gets its name from. Now we are loading into Coldridge Prison, and it says, Dishonored. 6 months have passed since you were accused by the royal spy master of murdering the Empress and conspiring to abduct her daughter Emily, the royal heir. Now locked away in Coldridge Prison, the time of your execution draws near. And just one quick note that I wanted to say before I press any key to continue. That cutscene at the end, right before the guard mashes your face in and knocks you out, so we can get a cool transition to the title, FMV. I'm honestly not so certain why they decided to go with a silent protagonist from this game. You are very much a character with his own name and identity and role in the society of Dishonored. So for me personally, I don't find the silent protagonist choice very smart here, but it definitely doesn't detract too much from the game, of course. So just wanted to comment, although obviously not like Corvo would have been able to talk his way out of that situation, but moving on.
This is your final chance, Corvo. Sign the confession, and let me give you the rights to put your spirit at ease.
That's enough for now. Get out. Let's give the man some time to think. Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak. And that's where we come in.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time, and someone has to take the fall.
should eat, Corvo. This meal comes from a friend.
And now we are past the relatively explosive beginning of Dishonored, very fast-paced beginning for sure. The amount of dialogue and cutscenes in the game is not very indicative of the, in the beginning is not very indicative of the overall tone of the game. There's a lot of gameplay here. Eating the bread, we get a key and an anonymous message. Corvo, who we are is irrelevant right now. Just know that we have faith in you. Here is the key to your cell. Once you're out, head for the prison's interrogation room. Take the explosive there and plant it on the outer door. When the bomb goes off, run, make for the river, and lose yourself in the sewers. You'll find some useful gear stashed there. One of the prison guards will leave a weapon just outside your cell, and good luck. We need you alive and well for what's to come. A friend. Didn't say sincerely or with love. That's too bad. So here's Corvo's cell key. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And immediately go into crouching mode. Crouched is how I will get through the game most of the time when I'm just walking. Looks like we're clear here. Now we have the City Watch sword and coins, a coin of 2 coins of 10 and a coin of 5, and that's currency that you can spend on upgrades and items later. You'll also notice that the game is pretty smart about realizing what you want to do. If I approach this table and go up against it, I will automatically duck under it and be able to hide, and basically just a large range of motion and fluid movement is kind of the name of the game in Dishonored. Now I want to check to see if my key bindings were saved. Okay, yeah, F1 is always my quick save, and F3 is always my quick load. I absolutely save scum in this game. So you'll see that loading icon at the bottom right there often, and if I get caught, I will probably immediately reload and try again. And also I wanted to point out that under options, you'll notice in that beginning cutscene when we were holding the Empress as she died, the guard kind of appeared, boots and all, or we saw his boots and his legs. He appeared on the left side of the screen, and I believe that's because I have my FOV set to max, which is 110, which is obviously the setting on a lot of PC games that lets you see more around you. It makes things feel a lot less claustrophobic, at least for me, so I think my FOV setting is what caused that little error. But anyway, let's actually play the game.
Social event for the high and mighty. Come see the...
Alright, now we get a surprise tutorial. Assassinations and non-lethal takedowns. With a sword in hand, assassinate an unaware enemy by pressing left click or approach an unaware enemy from behind and hold left control to perform a non-lethal takedown. Using stealth and the non-lethal approach has benefits, fewer rats and weepers. Some people react favorably, and the final outcome of the entire game, it means, is not as dark. And just to be safe, we're going to take our unconscious body here and throw it in our cell. And if we hover over, you'll see it says unconscious. And speaking to the fluidity of motion in this game, the fact that you can, do a non-lethal takedown, that was foolish of me. The fact that you can do a non-lethal takedown and then hold F after you accomplish it to immediately pick up the body is another very fluid thing that this game pulls off. Okay. good enough window of opportunity for us to choke this guy out and hold F to carry him, and then very quickly run back. We can't sprint while holding a body, but let's get back up on our perch here. I think we're a little too high up for me to, for him to see us. And just like that, in the very first room, I'm gonna be safe scumming. So now let's just see. We'll wait till he turns around and then get him, and then we can move on. Also, there's a nice pickpocket for 20 coins right there. Whenever a guard has a wallet or a little satchel on his back, you can pickpocket them for a little bit of extra cash. We just picked up our first health potion. We can press R to do that. And a pistol too, although I absolutely do not need it. It only came with one bullet. So this is a little tutorial for the ledge climbing that I pointed out earlier on the boat, but I want to go this way just to see what's, oh, you need a key, okay. But you can hold F on any locked door to peer inside, and we can see some rats there. Not so cute in this game. Usually I am quick to think that rats or any other type of rodent in a video game is cute, but plague rats, not so much. Another health potion and some coins. And eating food basically serves as a minor heal if you're out of potions. Let's peer through the keyhole here, and looks like we're in the clear except for this guard. Oh, there's the pickpocket tutorial. We could probably still pickpocket him if he's knocked out, though. No, we actually can't. Interesting. Makes sense, I suppose, just trying to get you to use some restraint. There's that door we couldn't open, which doesn't really serve much of a purpose to open, but might as well. A bit of a slow slide there. Let's enter the yard. I was trying to see if there was a way to unequip our gun, but unfortunately not. This guy looks like he's alone. I sort of have very vague memories of enemy route patrol, so I know at least in this first level where a lot of the enemies will be. Which is good for speed, although I am obviously taking my time as I am wont to do. I think this should be relatively clear, yeah. Interrogation room is clear, so let's find that explosive that the letter talked about. Okay, so we have something to read and something to listen to. Audiographs that work like audio diaries did in BioShock. There's another source for comparison, so let's listen to that first and then we'll do some reading.
Corvo's unconscious again, though he's taken more punishment than the 2 men we brought in for interrogation. When he wakes, we'll start again. Having him sign the confession for her murder isn't critical, but it might be useful to us later. The assassination of an empress is not a trivial matter.
Alright, and now, actually, can we leave the desk? No, we cannot, so let's read. officers report. Duty officers report Corvo's interrogation. Corvo Atano, formerly the Royal Protector, will be brought in for interrogation. This is of utmost importance. The Lord Regent and I, Overseer Campbell, will conduct the questioning themselves. Follow their orders without hesitation and keep the torturer under control. If Corvo dies in his hands instead of getting the next public execution the Lord Regent wants, it'll be your head that rolls next. And that note has been added to our journal for further reading at any time, should we want to do that. I can't imagine that we will, but it's good to want the option, or good to have the option. And there's the explosive that we were promised. Another book. This game has a lot of reading and lore items to read, which I think also makes it a very good game for this. Excerpt from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Once a child shows the proper inclination, he is marked. Overseers are assigned to study the subject surreptitiously in order to determine whether this inclination is supported by cosmological conditions and other signs ongoing throughout the year. At the end of the cycle, those befitting further testing are removed from their homes some hours before dawn and must begin the march to an outpost outside the city. There, the children undergo ritual preparation and evaluation until the last night of the month of rain, when they will make a pilgrimage to White Cliff. During an elaborate ceremony, it is determined which of the children will become overseers and which must be put down. Very, very harsh inclinations there, it would seem, but we're at 33 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. So in the next one, we'll take that explosive and see if we can't bust out of prison. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourself.